Senator from Texas is recognized.
Madam President, I rise today to express concerns over two of the Democrats' nominees. There have been a number of questionable nominees put forth by this new administration, but these two nominees may be the two most radical nominees put forth. First, I'd like to talk about Vanita Gupta. Today, we are set to vote on discharging Vanita Gupta's nomination out of the Judiciary Committee because Ms. Gupta could not garner a majority vote in the committee on moving her nomination forward to the full Senate. The Judiciary Committee is deadlocked, and for good reason. This nominee's record is that of an extreme partisan ideologue. I can assuredly tell the American people Ms. Gupta is not a moderate, is not mainstream, but is rather an extreme political activist that the Democrats want to be the number 3 lawyer at the Department of Justice. When she testified before the Judiciary Committee last month, she consistently dodged questions. She wouldn't answer if she supported any restrictions whatsoever on abortion. She wouldn't answer not partial birth abortion, not anything. When it comes to the Second Amendment, I asked Ms. Gupta if she thought the Heller decision, the landmark decision upholding the individual right to keep and bear arms, if that decision was rightly decided. She refused to answer that question. For years, she has demonstrated a persistent hostility to religious liberty, such as when she defended the Obama administration's targeting and persecution of the Little Sisters of the Poor. Not too long ago, religious liberty was a bipartisan commitment in this body. The Religious Freedom Restoration Act was introduced by then Representative Chuck Schumer, now the Senate Majority Leader. It passed the House unanimously. It passed the Senate 93-3 and was signed into law by Democratic President Bill Clinton. Sadly, today's Democrat Party has abandoned religious liberty. That is no longer a commitment. Instead, today's Democratic Party embraces extreme ideas like the Equality Act, which has just come out of the House of Representatives. A radical piece of legislation that, among other things, explicitly repeals major parts of the Religious Freedom Restoration Act, designed to take away your religious liberty. Ms. Gupta has been a vocal defender of the misnamed Equality Act. She lobbied for its passage, a fact that she didn't disclose to the committee initially. When she was before the Judiciary Committee, I asked if she agreed with the provisions in the Equality Act that take away religious liberty protections from Americans. Again, Ms. Gupta refused to answer that question too. Ms. Gupta has demonstrated radical hostility to school choice, so much so that when she served in the Department of Justice during the Obama-Biden administration, she helped intervene in a case trying to kill a Louisiana school choice program, even though many of the African-American parents in Louisiana strongly supported and desperately needed that program. The federal court involved in this case even reprimanded the Department of Justice under her leadership for ineffective lawyering in this case. At the judiciary hearing of Ms. Gupta last month, I asked if she regretted using the Department of Justice to fight against the school choice program that was providing hope and opportunity to low-income minority kids in Louisiana. Again, she refused to provide a straightforward answer. And when it comes to defunding the police, it is here that Ms. Gupta is most radical. Last year, Ms. Gupta, in a written filing with this Senate, encouraged Congress to, quote, re-examine federal spending priorities and shrink the footprint of the police and criminal legal system in this country. She also encouraged reallocating resources, writing, quote, some people call it defunding the police. Other people call it divest, invest. But whatever you call it, if you care about mass incarceration, you have to care about skewed funding priorities. Now, these weren't Ms. Gupta's college writings. These weren't scribblings on a Post-it that she made somewhere. These statements were from last year, submitted to the United States Senate, and on their face and unequivocally advocate for defunding the police. There's no question on her record that Ms. Gupta is a hard-left partisan radical whose beliefs don't align with the majority of the American people. So why are Democrats so hell-bent on making sure she gets confirmed? Two reasons. Reason number one, headlines. Democrats care so deeply about looking good in the press, they continue to press through partisan bills and partisan activists for adulation by an adoring media. Reason two, today's Democrats are beholden to the far-left voices in their party, and they're fulfilling campaign promises that they made to the radical left. That's why they nominated Ms. Gupta. And that's why they broke Judiciary Committee rules to move forward her nomination. Rule 4 of the committee preserves the rights of minority members to speak before a vote. It only allows for stopping debate and bringing a matter to a vote if a majority of the committee agrees, including at least one member of the minority party. But the Democrats didn't have a majority. If they had tried to bring a matter to the vote under the rules, the vote would have failed. So instead, Chairman Durbin unilaterally silenced and stopped a member of the committee from speaking mid-sentence and forced a vote. He did so in flat-out violation of the rules, without even a pretense of a justification under the rules. The chairman knew that this was an abuse of power. Every Democrat on the committee knew it was abuse of power. It was an abuse of power that had never been done against them when Republicans had the gavel for 6 years. But today's Democrats are about power. So if the rules stand in the way, to heck with the rules, ignore them. That's what Senate Democrats did on the Judiciary Committee.